And then our top business story. A new survey has named Dubai as the #1 expansion target by nearly a quarter of companies based in Asia, Europe and North America. The report by the Alliance Business Centres Network for the Middle East and North Africa showed that Dubai ranked first among the best centres for the expansion of companies on a global level. The survey noted that Dubai was the choice of 21% of the 300 companies that participated in the survey from Asia, Europe and North America. It also revealed that Singapore ranked in second position with 19%, followed by Hong Kong in third place with 18%. New York was ranked fourth with 13% and London came fifth with 10%. A total of 19% of companies' choices were distributed among other cities scattered all over the world. African countries ranked first among the target markets for expansion in general by 43% of participating companies in the survey, followed by Asia with 37%, North America 10%, Europe 6%, while 4% of companies chose South America as their favorite destination for expansion. The Dubai International Financial Center said on Monday that it has seen an exponential growth in the presence of Chinese financial firms and state-owned banks in recent years. The Global Financial Services Hub pointed out that Chinese banks and DIFC have doubled their balance sheet in the last 18 months. According to the center's 2015 full-year operating review results, China's top four state-owned banks, the Bank of China, Agricultural Bank of China, ICBC and China Construction Bank, have combined total assets of $21.5 billion. The four banks, representing 26% of the total assets booked in DIFC, have additionally upgraded their licenses at DIFC to Category 1, expanding their presence from subsidiary to branch status. DIFC welcomed 309 new companies in 2015, up almost 28% from the year before, with growth among financial services firms surging by 13%. The chief executive officer of the DIFC authority stated that the financial hub is committed to building long-lasting partnerships with the emerging Chinese market, adding that it is continuing discussions with 2 additional Chinese banks to set up operations at DIFC. The total value of the 295 cases handled at DIFC courts rose in 2015 to 5.56 billion dirhams, greater than the combined value of cases handled in 2012, 13 and 2014. As cash payments in the Middle East Africa region still account for nearly 90% of transactions compared with a global average of 85%, industry leaders have discussed how public-private partnerships can help drive economic growth and achieve social development goals across the region. During the second edition of the MasterCard Prepaid and Government Conference in Dubai, experts in the industry revealed that the burden of cash usage on national economies across the world represent almost 1.5% of their GDPs, and time has come to progress towards more modern and efficient electronic payment mechanisms. Adding that 2 billion adults around the world are still financially excluded, business leaders highlighted that through technologies like prepaid cards, ID cards, biometric security payment cards and alternative delivery channels like m-commerce and e-commerce, more consumers can be integrated into the financial ecosystem. Officials stressed that as the next generation of consumers have become digital savvy and societies and governments gradually enter a cashless world, a multitude of non-cash options for making payments will offer better ways of doing business while also driving economies around the world.
Prepaid is a very flexible platform, provides a much more cost-effective way to give electronic transaction ability to consumers. It doesn't require heavy legacy banking systems and is very flexible for the consumer experience as well. It can be adapted to create spend controls or wage disbursements, or it can work in conjunction with mobile wallets. So all these benefits of prepaid make it sort of the perfect thing to use more often than not as the foundation for a financial inclusion effort inside of a country.
While being optimistic that the world's goal of achieving full universal financial access by 2020 is achievable, organizers at MasterCard stated that they intend to work with industry leaders in both public and private sectors to provide financial access to 500 million consumers around the world. adding that collaboration between the public and private sector is the key to drive business and economic growth. Officials emphasized that governments can help with regulations while the private sector can use innovative mechanisms to make cashless economies a reality.
Public-private partnerships, I think, are a really interesting way at tackling some of the world's largest problems. If you think about it, right, the problems that we're talking about solving here are big and they're significant. We're talking about key humanitarian challenges that you read about in the news every day. We're talking about financial inclusion, but financial inclusion for what, right? As a means to alleviate poverty. Financial inclusion as a means to create gender equality, financial inclusion as a means to create economic growth. So they're big world problems. So when we talk about that, that's the context in which this concept of public-private partnership becomes so crucial, because no one actor is able to really solve any of these challenges on their own. And there's been a lot there's been a cry or a call out to say, how can the private sector show up, right? And how can the private sector really add value? And that's where MasterCard, frankly, has really taken a leadership role.
Emirates Global Aluminium, one of the world's biggest producers of the metal, posted an almost 50% drop in net profit last year as the price of aluminium plunged due to a supply glut. State-owned AGA's net profit plunged to 1.9 billion dirhams last year from 3.7 billion dirhams a year earlier, even as sales grew 4% to 2.4 million tons. Revenue dropped 5.5% to 18.7 billion dirhams last year from 19.8 billion dirhams recorded in 2014. Aluminium prices plummeted 18% last year, with its price on the London Metal Exchange sliding to a 6-year low of $1,432.50 a tonne in November. The price rout has led to closures of several smelters around the world as producers compete with increased production, mainly from China. Global aluminium production increased by 9% last year to 57.89 million tonnes, according to data from the International Aluminium Institute. The Arabian Gulf region produced 5.1 million tonnes of aluminium last year, a 5.6% increase from 2014, according to the institute. Last year, EGA said it cut 250 jobs as a result of the merger of its operations in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. EGA, jointly owned by Abu Dhabi's Mubadala and the Investment Corporation of Dubai, was formed from the 2013 merger of Dubai Aluminium, or Dubal, based in Jebel Ali, with Abu Dhabi's Emirates Aluminium, or EMAL. Together, they have a total annual production capacity of 2.4 million tonnes per year.